What's up, y'all? Welcome back to our YouTube. And yes, we have something special for y'all. But before I get into it, I just want to let y'all know the No Homo show still drops every single week. But now you got to watch the full episodes on our Patreon. We will be dropping highlight clips, but to watch the full episode, go to our Patreon at patreon.com/the No Homo show. But today we have something special. And we about to get into it. Let's go, Britt.
Yeah, that's right, y'all. So look, welcome to the Queer Agenda, the podcast where the gays, girls, days, and allies come together to talk about everything that matters and some things that absolutely don't, but we're still going to talk about them anyway.
Listen, we're bringing y'all bold conversations, unfiltered opinions. Y'all know how we do.
Okay.
Queer joy and a whole lot of tea. Y'all know how we do. Okay. This is going to be entertaining for everybody. We can't wait to talk about these trending topics and more.
That's right. So make sure y'all tune in every single week because we will be dropping this here on our YouTube platform. Welcome to the Queer Agenda.
I know y'all see a new face. Let's get into it. Let's give her an
Yes.
The
introduction.
baddie has arrived.
Hello, we a trio now.
Ah.
Yeah.
We
What's up,
got the
y'all?
baddie galore with us, y'all, and she will be with us on the show because she got the tea for real. So I want you to introduce yourself and let them know everything about you.
What's up, y'all? I'm the baddie galore. If you don't know me now, you do. I'm a lesbian content creator and party promoter here in DC. I met BRITT and eXeL last year during Atlanta Pride.
Yep.
I pulled up there, for my birthday, and I was like, "Oh, we lit in here." And then BRITT and I became like social media mutuals and saw my TikTok. Because when I be on TikTok, if y'all follow me on TikTok, follow me on TikTok because I always have tea for the girls and the gays and the thems and the straight people that we just chat about sometimes. I like to break things down in a lot of detail. And I like to always I hate being wrong when I'm on TikTok. Like I hate when people come like, you're wrong. No, I'm not wrong. Because I do the research. I do the
Hello?
research. Yeah. So y'all, I'm really excited to be here.
Yeah, I think that's exactly why we wanted to work with you. Like we had this idea, but we're like, we need somebody that really knows the tea. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? And really been doing this. So looking back at your TikToks and everything, you're super experienced, and I can't wait for us to be spilling the tea, y'all.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
crazy because I felt like it chose me. I didn't choose it. When I started TikTok, I wanted to be like a lifestyle influencer. I was sharing my dating experience as a lesbian living in DC. I was showing my little outfits. And every now and then I would just like recap drama and tea. And those videos always just went crazy. And I'm like, this is not the journey I'm supposed to be on. But yet, here we are, the queer
Yeah.
agenda. And I just accepted
No.
it. I'm excited.
Yeah, me too. And you're like so good at it. Like I was telling you, like I feel like it's very important when people take the time to get the facts and
Yeah.
not just speak on things they don't know they're talking about. So I feel like you are the perfect piece to this equation right here to make sure we are
Aw.
on track with what we're talking about. Because girl, sometimes we just be talking. We don't know what we talking about. We just be yeah. So now you're here to be like, hold on, not too much. You forgot one thing. And I'm
Right.
like,
Yeah,
okay,
fact.
cool. Heard
And
that.
it's
Heard that.
perfect because when I do my TikTok videos, I never give my personal opinion because all a lot of people do is give their personal opinion. I want sometimes to be able to just find the recap and the facts, but here, oh, I'm gonna give my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I'm
Okay.
gonna
we
give
gonna
that
keep it
opinion.
100 too. We're gonna keep it 110,000%. You feel me?
We
Yeah,
got to. And everybody, I want to say this. Let's clear it right now. We all entitled to our own opinion. And some
hmm
people, y'all might not agree with what I
right.
say, vice versa. But we are entitled to our opinion, and we're gonna give it.
Yeah.
All right, y'all ready to get into this first topic because
Let's
the
do it.
tea is hot and the lesbian influencer couples are breaking up. They're breaking up. 2025 has not been nice to our community when it comes to lesbian TikTok couples and YouTube couples and influencer couples because they're all breaking up. And the latest victims are Tati and Prince Maynard, who are basically like Black lesbian royalty when it comes to social media. They've been doing YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, all the couple content for years. And now they're divorcing.
Damn.
And the thing is that people have been speculating for a while that they were no longer together because Prince had moved to the UK where Tati is from with her. And then all of a sudden was back in Miami without her. And when asked about it, she claimed that it was because the UK wasn't great for her mental health. She wasn't thriving there. And it was kind of believable because if you've ever been to the UK, it's very gloomy. a lot of rain, not a lot of sunshine, right? Like it's one of
I
those
can see
places where
that.
like you have to
You
live there to kind of love it. You know what I mean?
you're leaving Miami for that? That hit different.
Right.
Oh,
Right. And I think before Miami, they were in LA. So she's used to sunshine. And then she just
yeah.
got basically rain, right?
Went to a gloomy city.
Yes. And then Tati was on a live where she was saying, like, yeah, I miss my man, but I have no plans to go to the US anytime soon. So again, if Prince is in Miami and you're in the UK, how are and long distance things are a thing, right? Like the lesbian community is known for being in long distance relationships. And so,
Sure is.
people thought it was believable at some point. But then last month, they both announced separately that they were splitting up and they were divorcing.
Mm.
And so rumors started to circulate, right? And then subs started to be thrown. So first, Tati posted this video of herself crying on TikTok to a viral Adele song. Go ahead and play it real quick for me. And so people are like, girl, what are you crying about? And it's a bit dramatic, Tati. I'm not going to hold you. It's a bit dramatic, right?
The recording yourself crying for
I
a
hate it.
TikTok. Now,
Can't do it.
now, if you just happen to be in a conversation and start crying and it's recorded,
Right.
that's one thing. But
Yeah.
you did that for a TikTok. That's a celebrity stuff that
Yeah.
I
influences.
can't do it,
It
man.
kind of crosses my lines of just being a
It's just like,
person.
are you really that emotional if you set your camera up and cry?
Right.
Not to take away from your emotional experience, but like, is it real if you set your camera up and cry?
I've never thought to stop and record this.
Maybe in
Never.
her defense, she was recording a makeup
Maybe.
tutorial.
Yeah, maybe.
And she
Maybe
started
maybe she already had the video crying and she just added the song. Maybe she really was doing like a tutorial,
I
was
don't know, y'all.
crying,
I
and she
think we
felt like it was on brand for the trend.
Yeah.
Okay. We're
on
gonna give her the
brand
benefit
is
of the doubt.
crazy. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
And Prince did post an initial YouTube video, right? Where she basically said, okay, we're breaking up. I'm leaving her. But in the video, she was very vague about why they were breaking up. She kind of framed it as, I just wasn't happy in the UK. It wasn't good for my mental health. She wanted to say we're no longer together, right? And so people were just kind of like, okay, but like she moved to the States for you for like 5 years and didn't complain and stay there away from her family and her friends. And also, you're 9 years older than her. Prince is 34. Tati is only 25. So social media immediately took Tati's side in the breakup because they felt like you dragged her from her family and her friends at a very young age, married her, made her a brand, and then couldn't last in UK for longer than 2 weeks.
So they
Yeah.
started talking when she was like 19.
Yeah.
Well, they've been married for 5 years. So they were. Do you know how long they were together before they got married?
Look at me trying to do the math.
Yeah, like
I don't know how long they were together before they got married. I assume it probably was at least when Tati was 18. Right.
Is it giving some visa
Can't
shit?
confirm.
Like, she in the UK. Do you think it really was like some visa stuff? Because I love 90 Day Fiance and I'll be
Oh,
watching.
I do too. Oh my
I
God, I
love
hate
that
that
show.
show. I mean, I don't know. You know what I
we
mean?
gotta
I'm
we gotta
not
look
gonna
into
lie.
that. 'Cause I
I'll
wonder.
say no because she went back to the UK. If she really wanted to
Right.
be in the US, she would have stood down here.
But
That's
it
a
was
good
5 years
point.
later. Oh no, not saying like she did it to get over here, but did she have to? Because you got to go back unless you get married within like 90 days or some shit. I don't know. I'm just I be
Oh,
watching too much
I
I get
don't
what
TV.
you're
think
saying.
so. I
Yeah,
don't
okay.
think so because usually when you do, I love 90 Day Fiance too, and like when
Yeah,
you
that's my
do
shit.
that, you're staying in the States even if you don't stay with that person.
True.
Tati said, "I'm going home, and I'm
Okay.
staying
Now I
here."
feel you on that.
So while Prince was posting a YouTube video being like, I left her, Tati had shared a social media post saying, while the last 5 years with Prince was meaningful and unforgettable, they decided to go their separate ways. And she said that she still feels lucky to have shared her life with Prince, but it was time for them to support each other on different paths. So Tati took the HR route, right? Prince took the social media route. And I think that's why people weren't on her side because it's like 1 year older, 2 you didn't last, and now you're kind of dragging her and like making money off of it because your YouTube is monetized.
Hey.
And people were not on Tati's side at all.
Or not on
So,
Prince's side.
Prince's side, right? Wasn't
Right.
on Prince's side at all. And so to respond to the backlash, Prince posted another YouTube video that was like 35 minutes long, y'all. I did watch the whole thing. But it was very long. And she acknowledged that in the first video, she just wasn't clear about what was going on. And she was trying to protect her wife and protect their brand and their relationship because they had been together for such a long time. But she said in this video, she was going to be very clear what went down. And she started the video by talking directly to Tati, like quite literally looking in the camera and said, "I'm talking to you." And what she said was that Tati was cold. She lied to her face and played with her intelligence. She also said that Tati did not earn her wedding ring. It was given to her.
That's
And that
wild.
she regrets ignoring all of the red flags in their relationship.
That's crazy.
And then she went on to clear up their backstory because, right, she's getting all of this backlash for being so significantly older than Tati. She says that Tati slid in her DMs when she saw a picture of her on Instagram. And it was Tati who flew from the UK to the States without telling Prince to surprise her so they could meet for the first time. And while she did admit to extending her ticket by a week, she suggested that Tati go back to UK, live her life, get her affairs in order, and they would basically be long distance, just plan to go back and forth. But on the way to the airport, Tati gave Prince an ultimatum, right? She said, "You can either take me to the airport and I go home and that's what we'll do, or you take me to the beach and we can be together forever."
Hello.
Well,
Something about that is so gangster to me.
No, dead ass.
So she took her to the beach,
Period.
but they
Hello?
wasn't together forever. Okay.
Y'all saying to the beach.
Rule number 1, don't do that.
Now, Prince said that within like a week of her being in the UK when they finally did move there, Tati was asking her to go back home. So she spent the second week of her being there trying to figure out why her girlfriend was asking her to leave, because leading up to them moving to UK, they were solid. They had no fights. They had no trust issues. But Prince says that once they got to the UK, Tati went back to her life as if she was single and mingling and back to being 18 years old, like how she was when she met Prince, allegedly. We don't know. No, let me not start no rumors.
Right,
okay?
allegedly.
And so she says, and while she did not say explicitly that Tati cheated, she definitely implied it heavily throughout that 35-minute video. She said that Tati would basically go missing with no communication. There was one time where she told her that she was going to go to Nobu Hotel to film some content for her individual YouTube channel, but then she couldn't get in contact with her the whole time.
Damn, that's
Man, that's a new level of cheating,
that's
bro.
a red flag right there. And this while she
cheating
was
with
in
money
the
because the
UK.
Nobu Hotel is not cheap.
Hello?
I'm like, where that content at? Where the
Hello?
content? Where
And
the
this
video?
was in the UK. Well, Prince was in the UK.
Yes, this was when Prince was in the UK.
So she,
and mind
over
you,
there
she
chilling
was
by
only
herself.
there for 2 weeks. So all of this happened within a span of 2 weeks.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
She
crazy.
also said that Tati had a friend who was helping her lie. So she would text a friend and the friend would act like she was with Tati, covering her while Tati was out doing whatever she was doing. Now, again, she didn't say that she cheated, but what she says that she, Prince, had never did anything to jeopardize their marriage. But she left once she felt betrayed.
I would have left too. Sure.
And that she fought for it, but she doesn't take being betrayed lightly at all. And that's why they're getting a divorce.
Fought for the 2-week thing and fought for it.
It's not adding up.
Yeah.
It's not adding up. Right?
Yeah, after 5 years of marriage, it's crazy.
This goes viral, right? Obviously. So, the YouTube video gets clipped and we're seeing all the things. And so Tati again takes the HR route and she posts to her Instagram story saying that while she wasn't perfect, through everything, she wasn't disloyal to Prince. And that when Prince ended things, she gave her their entire social media brand. So the monetized YouTube channel, the Instagram, the TikTok, she handed it all over, right? And that ultimately, she feels like Prince is just hurting and acting out from a place of pain. So now that y'all know the details, what are our opinions? I want to know what y'all feel about the age gap.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to know what y'all feel about the breakup. Do y'all think that Prince tried hard enough? Did she fight enough? Was it ever gonna work?
Well, there's two things I want to say real quick. First of all, I do I get her monetizing the sadness, right? But if you're a public relationship, I ain't gonna lie. If we see the good times, show us the bad times too. You
Mm,
know what I'm saying? And I'm starting to understand influencers more where like, yeah, the T runs up the numbers. And
okay, let's talk
unfortunately,
about it.
you gotta respect it. Me, I do have a moral code where like,
Hmm.
yo, first I'm gonna put my family before money and anything. And some
Right.
things don't gotta be online, but I understand if you're a whole social media couple, that's one thing. Another thing I want to say is it's very easy to like if somebody's in your environment, they adapt to your environment, right? So like when
Mm,
she came down to LA or Miami, wherever she came down, it's like, yeah, all her friends is probably people that are associated to you and
right.
not that you're controlling the circumstance, but you're her comfort zone. You know what I
Right.
mean? So now when she goes back home, Shorty with her family, her old friends. So now
Having a
you're
ball.
seeing, even though she might not have switched up, you're seeing a different side of her because when I go back home, if I took one of y'all back home with me, y'all gonna see people y'all never saw before. And I'm gonna be chilling at places, you know what I'm saying? So I can see how that's awkward. But 2 weeks,
That's not a long time.
you're not adapting nowhere. Like if you went to college or another town, you those 2 weeks is gonna be hard
Yeah.
for
Yeah, for
anybody.
sure. For sure. Britt, what's our
Yeah.
thoughts?
Well, I mean, you ate that up on that one. I would speak on the age gap uh difference. This 19, because basically, all right, if I can do my math a little bit, all right. And I know we don't know when they got together, but when they got married, you said 5 years ago, she's 35 now, right? So
Hmm.
she was 30 when they got married, Prince was, and Tati was 19.
No,
Well,
21
she's
because
21.
21.
they
Yeah.
got 9 year
Because she's
gap.
26. See, I can't do math. Okay. So I don't all right, this just based off experience. I only know not to mess with a certain age level because I've done it before. I don't know if
Okay.
Prince has dated younger in the past. So maybe she thought everything would be good and she didn't look at the age like an issue because honestly, I've never dated anyone with that big of an age gap difference. But I
Right.
mean, 21 and 30, it's not that extreme. You know what I'm saying? But I get we're in this age now where it's like the age thing, it comes into play when people keep saying like, "Oh, you groomed her and you did this and you did
Right.
that." But it's like we only know really what they show us on the internet, and like she was trying to basically clear her side. Was like she shot her shot with me. It was her pursuing me. She was in my DMs, but that still don't mean you had to answer
Yeah,
the DM or
that's
entertain
a
the
good
DM.
point.
So I don't know what she was trying to do with that, but I think the age gap. I don't think it's that serious, but I do think that somebody that's 21 and somebody that's 30, it's
Hmm.
just like I feel like you should be in two different places in your life. I wouldn't want to be married at 21. You know
Hello.
what I was doing at 21?
What
Okay,
was you
running these
doing?
streets.
What was
I
you
was
doing?
outside at 21. I thought I wanted to be married, and maybe she thought she did too. But I just
Yeah.
feel like maybe the reality hit. I did hear that when people get married, it changes. I don't know,
Right.
and eXeL could probably speak on that. But I heard like people say like you could be with somebody for 10 years. Once you get married, it feels different. I don't know why people say that. eXeL, do you feel like it gets different when you
I
get
mean, I
married?
feel like I do feel like it's a stronger commitment and it's kind of like just is a bigger bond. Like, yo, we really in this. We really going
Yeah,
for life. Like, that's what
for
we're
life.
aiming for. You know what I mean? Rather than somebody that, like, if you're just in a relationship, you get mad, you could kick them out the damn house if you wanted
Right.
to, type thing. But, I, I agree with what you're saying, though. Like, but one thing for me, I just be like, yo, if you're 21, 25, and your girl can't even go outside with you type thing, because
Hello.
everything's
Because you're not
21
old
and
enough.
up,
Right.
that right there is a little awkward for me.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but in her defense, like if you were in your like when we were in our 20s, we still trying to figure out life. So I can't be too mad at Prince. Like at 30, I feel like you're just getting to figure it out.
Yeah.
I hate the word grooming because not everything is that deep.
Not necessary, right?
Right.
But
Yeah.
it's like you should know a little bit better, right? And I think that Brit,
Yeah.
like the way you framed it, like she's kind of putting all of the brain on Tati. Like you said in my DM, you moved to the
Yeah.
US,
Like,
you
where's the
took me back to the
accountability?
UK. And she even said like she didn't want to move to the UK, but she did it because Tati moved to the States for her. But like if your intentions already weren't pure going there, it won't be pure remaining there. And that's why she didn't
Facts.
last that long.
Nah,
I
that's
Facts.
mean,
fact.
and if Tati was cheating, of course she's wrong. But like if I've been with you since I was 18, 19, and I'm realizing at 25 that I'm a different person, like I could see why.
Yeah.
I'm not condoning cheating, of course,
Yeah.
obviously.
Yes, you
But
are. Yes, you
no,
are. No, I'm
not,
joking. I'm
no,
joking. I'm
not.
joking.
But like, what was the likelihood of that truly working out?
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah. And I feel you on
Yeah,
that.
and also social media puts that pressure on as far as like, yo, y'all look so good together. Y'all look so
Y'all gotta
perfect.
stay together.
Like
Yeah.
we might have put that pressure on them to even get married. Like, damn, the next step would be doing this. And low key, sometimes people look at that as a business thing. Like,
Oh,
we be a
100%.
Yeah.
it's
100%. I mean, and that's why I like actually don't believe in like couple content, even though I talk about it all the time. Because when people break up, people always choose sides. And there's one
Yeah.
person that's going to thrive, and there's one person that's not. And even though the public initially wasn't on Prince's side, she's started a YouTube channel that has gotten already a ton of subscribers. She's already pivoted her content to like recovering emotionally and starting a new life as a single person. And Tati hasn't posted since that crying video, right? One person always wins and one person always loses when a couple content breaks up. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
but people are there for the tea on both ends.
They
and I'm one
really
of those
are.
I
people.
might be against you, but I'm gonna run up them numbers. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
No, for real.
But also I want to say, like, yo, if y'all was married and you was out there for 2 weeks and caught her cheating or something, like you
It's a
don't.
wrap.
That's what I'm. But that's what I'm saying. You don't just find your wife cheating and be done. Like this is
Oh, you
couples.
don't?
Not necessarily. Not necessarily. I'm saying 2 weeks. You
And
can
me.
two. Come on now,
No,
two
I
weeks.
Out of
agree.
here.
No, I agree. I
I
think
mean,
that
you could
it's
be
not
like,
all black and white. It's not all black and
it's
white.
not, and it might
Yeah.
take time to process it and be like, I can't get past this, or let's go to counseling because why
Mhm.
did you cheat? Why, you know what I'm saying? Bro, you could do all that. You not like sometimes people just not right out the like. There's no way that your whole everything just dropped in 2 weeks, or
Yeah.
Everybody's different. That's what I will
everybody
say
is.
on
But
that.
I will say with
If my
marriage,
wife cheat,
like,
I'm out of there. I'm sorry.
nah, and I agree, but I'm just saying you made that like in a week, like you know what I'm saying. Even how can
It's been a
you
long time.
like how
And
you
lesbian time is about a month.
That's true. Honestly, lesbian time is about half a year.
No dead ass. But I do, and she did say like she say something like she was ignoring Princess. She was ignoring the red flags or something like that.
yeah.
That's what Prince said.
Yeah. So maybe there was a lot of shit just also going on in that 5 year where it's like maybe she was blinded by being in love, being a YouTube couple, having to put on this persona. I don't know. It could be a lot more. I need some more details. I want her to keep dropping them videos so
You
we
If
want
can
more
she
really get the
does,
inside
if
scoop.
she does, I'll watch it for us.
Okay,
If she
period.
does, I'll watch it for us.
word.
Well, y'all, the drama does not stop there.
Mm.
Okay. Because, like I said earlier, I be trying to remind these like queer adjacent girls who aren't really queer or might
Queer
just be
adjacent.
legit
Queer
interesting
Jason
girls.
is
That,
funny.
like, the grass is not greener when you are in the queer community and dating other women. I know that we do really good PR for ourselves. I know we do because I'm
I
one
like
of
that.
them. I scream it from the rooftops, right?
Okay.
But it's not greener because
Yeah.
TikTok influencer Kaya Rife, let's pull up her picture real quick so that we can show the folks who she is.
Okay.
She's a cute girl. Like,
Come on, body.
baddie.
Yes.
Okay, baddie. So she has over 1.2 million followers, right? And she was known for dating this guy who's like her high school sweetheart. They had all this couple content, and she was straight to the naked eye. until she wasn't, because she just shared a story time about her dating another woman. And when I say that it was a doozy in the worst way, I quite literally mean it was a doozy. Okay. So she said that this girlfriend that she had been with for a while, right? So they met this time last year in May. Okay. And they hung out all summer with no real plans to get serious because they both were going back to college and it would be long distance. So they weren't trying to get into anything for real. But lesbians are going to do what lesbians do, even when you're not really a lesbian.
Hello.
And they said, you know what? We've fallen in love. We want to be together forever. Let's keep dating. So that's exactly what they did. So they became official in early November and they started a long distance relationship. Kaya said that after she would finish classes on Wednesday, she would drive 2 hours away to where her girlfriend was at school because her girlfriend was a basketball player and had games and couldn't travel the same way. So she was committed. And a lot of her content was about her going to the girlfriend's basketball games. Now, Kaya was a little secretive about this one, right? She never showed the girl's face. It'd be like the back of her head, the knee, the arm, right? And this was a little bit different, right? Because when she was with her guy, she posted him all the time. They had a couples channel, all the types of things. But with the girlfriend, she was just like, no face, no case. But her content
in those pictures, could you tell it was a female?
100%.
Okay.
Well, you could tell if you date other women, I should say.
Okay, gotcha.
I think sometimes from behind, guys and studs look the same.
Oh God. Unless they thick. Unless they thick like me.
Unless they got hips. Right. So, but she was like, no face, no case. But then all of a sudden, earlier this year, she stopped posting any content of the girl. And now she's telling us why. She said that she found out that the entire time they were dating, the ex-girlfriend was cheating with her teammate. And by cheating, I mean hooking up. And how did she find out? Because the teammate reached out to her like a couple weeks ago and told her.
Oh, come on, man.
Okay. Teammate. The teammate said that they had started sleeping together back in August.
So you was the side chick the whole time.
The whole time. And she said that every time Kaya would leave town, the ex-girlfriend would hit her up and be like, okay, pull up, she gone.
Damn, clockwork.
So that's savage work.
Yeah, let's look at this timeline, right? Kaya and the ex-girlfriend started talking in May and officially got together in November. But in between that, the ex-girlfriend starts hooking up with her teammate in August.
So why would you even want to commit if that's what be messing my head up? Like, why even commit if you already been messing with somebody?
Talking to the girl.
Maybe when you commit, that's when you stop messing with the other girl.
Right. And Kaya said, like, when she asked her to be her girlfriend, it was like something out of the movie. She had the hotel room decorated with flowers and candles and all the things. And she said that as a partner, the ex-girlfriend was everything she thought she ever wanted in a partner. And she was happy up until she found out that the ex-girlfriend was texting her ex-girlfriend, who is not the teammate. So when she found out the ex-girlfriend was texting her ex-girlfriend, she broke up with her and is now finding out about the teammate more recently.
Oh, so she's just a cheater.
Just a cheater.
It's in her. It ain't on her.
And she feels like both of the girls, the ex-girlfriend and the teammate, enjoyed playing in her face because not only was she around the teammate when she was going to the girls' basketball games, but they had hung out socially, the three of them.
Damn, that's cold-blooded, man.
Of them like turning up with each other. And she said that was the first night they had met, and the teammate told her that she felt bad because Kaya was so nice to her, but not bad enough to stop sleeping with her man because she kept doing it. She said because when they met, it was the beginning of their relationship.
I'm going to save my comments till you're done.
She also said that like there was a time where she was at the ex-girlfriend's house and she was like, hey, can I go and take the teammate's photo? But wouldn't let Kaya go with her. And she felt away in the moment and she didn't understand why, but she kind of just like chalked it up. And she said that in addition to the ex-girlfriend buying her Christmas gifts, she also bought the teammate Christmas gifts because that was also her girlfriend.
She
They
bought
were
it in a
sister
different
wives,
color.
and Kaya was the only person who didn't know it.
She bought the red
Listen,
version and the blue version.
the
Mhm.
baddie galore is stressing me out. Do you know me and Britt is sober? I feel like I need me a shot right now. I hate a cheater, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm getting in my
Yeah.
feelings. All right, all right.
And Kaya said that the teammate sent her a picture, proof of them together in the bed. And Kaya realized that the day that they took the picture was the day before she was in that same bed with the ex-girlfriend.
Did she change the sheets?
I don't think so.
Oh, come on, man.
Kaya said she was genuinely shocked by her ex's behavior because she comes from a good family who was very spiritual, and the ex frequently talks about church and God.
It be them church people and them crystal people that you gotta watch out for, okay?
Every single time. Now, when I initially recapped this for my TikTok, y'all, the
Yeah.
streets were saying that the ex that Kaya was talking about was a WNBA rookie.
Ooh,
But the streets were wrong and they failed me. And I ended up having to
damn.
retract my statement and apologize to said rookie directly, right? Because I take my Britt, I take my TikToks very seriously. I do my research.
Yes.
I try to be factual, and I cannot. The streets have never let me down like this before,
You
but
can't
they're the
touch the
first
streets.
time for everything, right?
Yeah.
But then they made it up to me because they showed me exactly who the girl is. I know her TikTok.
Dang.
I know her Instagram.
What
I know
is
what
he?
she looks like, all the tea. However, Kaya has asked that we not platform her any further, considering what she did.
All
And
right.
Hey, don't
Okay.
bring that respectful stuff on the queer agenda. Leave that on TikTok.
Unfortunately, I have to stand with my femme sister who was wrong.
She sent you a cease and desist.
Cease
Come
and
on.
desist, okay? But if y'all really want to know who it is, y'all have to follow us on Instagram. We are the Queer Agenda,
Yeah.
and request to be added to our close friends, where we'll be spilling even more tea that we don't spill here.
Okay, so we could be messy in the close friends.
We can be messy in the close friends, but we can be messy here, but we're gonna be the messiest in the close friends.
Okay, I'm
I
with that.
love Lil Messy.
Yeah, because I want to know who is
Right.
it. They're in college still.
I will say everybody involved is very cute.
Yeah.
Okay, very cute. But the light skinned thugs strike again.
Damn, it be
Hey.
them light skinned studs, boy.
They strike again.
Dang.
So, what are our thoughts?
You.
Um,
All right, I'm gonna go in. Hold on.
Because y'all are two light skinned thugs. So let's
I
talk
know,
about it.
I know that. I know you have me.
Y'all are
stuck
down
on
by
that.
100 points right now.
Nah, we good because we got our mates. We got our soulmate.
Okay, exactly.
All
Shout
right.
out to them.
So I know sometimes not giving no cheating excuse. I do not like a cheater. But
Mhm.
sometimes think something may happen, right? But
Okay.
it's very savage, and I judge you as a human when you're
Mhm.
when you continuously do that. And I judge the girl that's with the shits too.
Hello?
Because you're not a good person. How can
You're
you
a
smile?
weirdo.
Yeah, how can you smile at somebody? Look at Britt. She done that. You could tell she done that.
Britt.
Face turning red. Look.
Okay. So I have before too.
Oh, I'm getting off of here.
hey, I
Y'all.
used to be a loyal side piece. I'm talking about text me that emoji. I know I can text back type side piece.
Dang, you was like that too?
I was like that
Listen,
too.
Baddie?
in my 20s, I lived in my best life. You know
Hold
what I
Period.
on. So
mean?
were you the cheater or the side piece?
Oh my God. I don't know if I
Oh.
like that word. It
It is what it is.
How would
It
you
feels
explain it?
I just sometimes you don't need the whole meal. Sometimes you just need the side to hold you over. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And
Yeah, but
sometimes they wasn't always that hungry. So, it's just what it was.
And you know what? Some people don't like commitment, so they don't mind
no,
being the
y'all
side
don't
piece.
get it. No, it's one thing to be a side piece, but it's
Yeah.
another to be chilling with her girlfriend and be
Oh, 100%. See,
Fresh.
my philosophy back in the day, and not now, because I also am committed and I have found my soulmate.
Okay.
I
But
love
my
it.
philosophy back in the day was if I even thought I was attracted to your man And if I could say to myself, if you weren't with them, we can't be friends. Right.
Yeah.
Because I just think that that's some weird shit. Right. I think it's weird when people befriend girls whose men they're attracted to. And if given a chance, they would take it.
And I don't understand what's the point of committing to somebody if you are it's all right to be dealing with two people before a commitment.
100%.
But why be like, will you be my girl? Put roses down, all this to already know you going to still be cheating.
Like, what is the reason for that?
Maybe
It must be. Are they younger? They got to be younger,
They
right?
are younger.
That's some young shit.
And when the streets found the girl who did the cheating, she did say in a comment, "I'm a changed woman." So maybe she learned her lesson, right? But
What, in a week? How long was it? How much time went by? How she a changed woman that quick?
Okay. Now, I mean, I think that they broke up earlier this year, right?
Okay.
So they got together late last year, broke up early this year. So the actual relationship part, the official relationship part didn't last that long because she was texting her ex. But it's very clear that she should have never gotten into that relationship in the first place.
Yes, 100%. And I hope that she did learn because, like I said, I've been on both sides. I've been a side piece. I've been with a girl who had me chilling with the person she was cheating on me with. Like, I've been in those similar situations, but it was definitely on some young head shit. Like, it's just certain things you gotta go through. Get it out your system. I can't judge nobody because I didn't been on both sides. So I just hope that she really did learn all of them because it's not healthy. You feel me? And it's not worth it.
But I have a question.
Yeah.
Do we think that Kaya will date another woman again?
No, and she's gonna act so straight. She's gonna be like, I wouldn't do that. I tried it once. I just talked to a girl this weekend. She was working at one of the venues. She was like, because she was saying something. I'm like, you gay? She was like, no, I would never do that. And then she goes into telling me how she used to live with a girl and they was dating. Her heart was so broke. She dissed us like she would never.
You gotta pick up the pieces and try again because it's gonna break your heart every time.
If you really attracted to a woman, I would think you wouldn't be done after just one.
Yeah, I don't know what her sexuality is. Like, again, like I've seen her with an ex-boyfriend, and then I saw the content with this girlfriend. She didn't speak to that, so I can't confirm or deny if she is straight, bisexual, bi-curious, gay. I don't know, right? But what I do know is that light skin studs are down by 100 points.
All right, you gotta relax.
Y'all need to get in the field.
Get in the field. And we got a real bad reputation, and this definitely don't help us out.
Y'all need to get in the field.
Identities. Actually, let's not even tell them who it is.
No.
So that we don't gotta expose
the hold it down like I'm holding my femme sister down.
Okay.
And as our shows continue, we're gonna learn more about you. The BADDIE galore, and now I just realized like I can't believe I agreed to be on this stream with two cheaters. Like, if I knew I was signing up for this is going to be a battle, and this is our first.
Wait a second.
She don't do nothing wrong.
Wait a second. I've never cheated on anyone before.
All right, I didn't know y'all both was okay with being side pieces, side joints.
You're saying it in present tense when it was really past tense.
Correct. That was like 10 years ago.
Exactly.
Yeah, literally.
Well, not for me. I'm not that old.
All right.
It was 10 years for me.
It was last year.
Yeah.
Look at Britt. Yours was not 10 years. You did it out here in Atlanta, bro.
I've been here 10 years. It happened as soon as I got to Atlanta in 2016.
Oh, okay.
That was 9 years ago. Time you flying.
Okay.
She came to Atlanta, instantly was okay with being a side piece. That's worse.
She was a fairy. Yeah.
Look at you, and you went right along, started dancing. See, look, this is about to be crazy.
Okay, let's get serious. Okay, let's get serious. Okay, because we have to talk about something that is very serious within our community. All right.
All right.
Can you be a lesbian in a straight relationship? Okay, that is the question, right? So I asked this question because a week ago, Makayla Wooten from Makayla and Dre, they are a popular Black queer TikTok and YouTube couple. I think they're also a little bit younger. So I think they're like mid 20s, right? Um, Makayla posted a TikTok responding to criticism she's received for continuing to identify as a lesbian, even though her partner Dre is a trans man. Let's play a little bit of that video.
A lesbian because I am with a trans man, but I feel like y'all fail to realize a lot of stuff. I am with my husband because I love my husband. That does not mean I am out here attracted to other men or anything like that. I'm with my man because that is my man. Now, outside of all of that,
Okay, right? So she says that. And so, for context, when Makayla and Dre first got together, he did identify as a lesbian, okay? Right? And that is how they lived as a couple, a Black lesbian couple. And over the past couple years, he has since transitioned, which he's documented his journey on social media. He's actually really well known on social media for being a trans man. Okay. And as we saw in her video, Makayla made it clear she's with her husband because she loves him, but she's not attracted to cis men. If they were ever to separate, God forbid, she would go back to dating women. She acknowledged that her sexuality has shifted in the context of the relationship. So if someone were to ask her like in real time, she would say, obviously, I'm queer because my man is trans. But she still considers herself a lesbian in a straight presenting relationship. Dre appeared in the background of that video and kind of joked and said, I know this sounds crazy, but like it is what it is. So he's at peace with her identify as a lesbian, even though he technically is a man, right?
And you know what? I respect that because like she's allowing him to be him and he's allowing her to be her. I do respect that.
But the lesbian TikTok community wasn't buying it, right? Many users posted response videos challenging Makayla's continued use of the term lesbian, suggesting that bisexual or pansexual would be more accurate for her. And they argue that queer women who date outside of women should be okay with not identifying as lesbians. And that if Makayla truly identified that way, she wouldn't have stayed with Dre after he transitioned. Now, she did respond. Let's watch a little bit of that.
Pissing me off.
And really has a lot of y'all shook it and trying to push things onto me. A lot of y'all keep saying that I just need to call myself pan. I'm not pan. I need to call myself bisexual. I'm not that either. I am in love with my trans husband. Okay? And that is what it is. It's that simple, that easy.
Okay.
Go ahead, girl.
Let's be serious here. Not a laughing matter now. What are our thoughts? Do we feel like you can still identify as a lesbian if you are dating someone who's trans, or even let's take it further, if you're dating a cis man?
Yeah, it's a tough decision. And I want to say I met Dre a few times. Definitely a cool person. I met him before he transitioned in Houston a few years ago. But I would say this is a really tough, it's a tricky discussion because I also kind of had, it's not as similar, but with my fiance, she identifies as bisexual. And I thought that, you know, with her marrying me, she would now be lesbian. But everybody, including eXeL, was like, yo, just because she with you don't mean that she's now a lesbian. Now, it's completely different because that's sexual orientation, whereas this is gender, where he's now.
Right.
So he is he says that he is a heterosexual man. Has he said that? Like he's a heterosexual man?
I didn't hear him say those words, but they consider themselves in a straight relationship.
So that gets confusing.
He said she's a lesbian in a straight relationship.
That gets confusing. It really does. It doesn't make sense, but if it make them happy, I mean, go for it. Nowadays, a lot of this stuff that's going on out here, it's so hard to keep up with. Like we have a friend who he transitioned from female to male, but he's dating a man, and then he's a trans, but he just had a baby. And it's just like that
happens actually really often.
I don't know how to keep up with it, but if that's what she say, then that's what she say. Who am I to tell her otherwise? If that's what they want to say, bro, I love
I
it. Go
think
for
I
it.
think it would have been a totally different story if she met him as a trans and still said she was
Right.
lesbian. She
Right.
met him as a female. So now you love somebody, you're in love with them, you are committed to them through
Mm-hmm.
marriage, and you decide to stick by them in their transition. Like,
Correct.
like
Right.
what now? Y'all mad that she stuck by her? You
Her
know,
man.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I
Like,
mean, I
no,
think
that's
it's
crazy. She
very
did,
layered, right?
yeah,
I think that what's not talked about in our community about people transitioning is the grief that their partner goes through around their own sexuality.
Right.
You get into a relationship with someone who identifies as a woman, so you feel like it makes sense. But then if that person decides to transition, that now requires you to do something that you weren't planning to do.
right.
Mhm.
And Makayla said that she knew that it was an option for Dre to transition, but it wasn't something that he had committed to at the time. So it wasn't something that she prioritized, right? She continued to live her life as if she was in a lesbian relationship. And just because he transitioned doesn't mean that she gives up on that. She said she's in love. This is her person. She's never felt happier. She loves him for him and how he treats her and not his sexuality. And I
Yeah.
think that that's fair, but I also think that I can understand her wanting to hold on to something that she feels like belongs to her, which is her sexuality.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Now, should you be calling yourself a lesbian? Technically, no. You should be. I think in the if I think while she's with him, it should be I'm queer, right? Just make it general.
Yeah.
But if God forbid, like we're not hoping anybody breaks up, but if they do break up and then she goes back to dating women like she plans, then call yourself a lesbian. It's not an issue.
mm,
But I do think that
So
because
much.
sexuality and the spectrum has become so layered and everybody changes identities however they want to, I think lesbians, we tend to be a little bit territorial over our identities. And like people who they feel like if you are calling yourself a lesbian, you have to like other women. That's it. That's all. And so
Right.
I get that. So I see all sides of it.
yeah, and it's like at the end of the day, sis, I get it, you're an influencer and all that, but why are you even having to justify what you are and all that? Like, I get it, you know what I'm saying? But it's just the whole fact that, like, that's like if, and I get the sex change, so this is a different comparison. But
Right.
if your spouse changes, like let's say your spouse got really obese or something, right? Either you could stick by them or you could be like, yo, I'm not attracted to this and I'm trying to stick by you, but it's just not my thing or something. But like your spouse is going to change. Not saying transition. I wouldn't have bashed her if she left because, like you said, like, hey, I was with you because you were a female and we had this type of relationship, but now,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm not going to bash you for that. But also, like, I understand that you met him as a lesbian. I think
Right.
that's the biggest thing to me. But
I
like,
think
I
that's a
do
good
get
point.
your point too, where you're saying like technically you shouldn't be.
Technically,
I mean, by definition,
by
but that's what I'm saying.
definition.
Like, everybody wants to be able to put a title on something in order for it to make sense for them. When it's
Mhm.
like, it don't need to make sense to the outside world. As
Exactly.
long as we good, who gives a fuck whether I'm this, that, the third? If I say that, it sounds crazy. But like, it's just like when we were saying like bisexual stud, right? Everybody was like, you can't be a bisexual stud.
You
We was
cannot.
like, if the nigga want to be a bisexual stud, let the nigga be a bisexual stud. If she want to be
No.
a straight lesbian, let her be a straight lesbian.
No,
I've never
no,
heard of it.
yeah.
I've never heard of it. I know it don't make sense to a lot of people, but we in a different time to where it's like it. I just feel
I
like people want things to make sense. Like, even with myself, people want to call me a stud all day. I don't want to be called no damn stud. But
oh,
because people
okay.
have to be
She
able,
said, "Oh, okay, I feel
but
that,
because
girl.
because
Okay.
they want
What
to be able
are
to
you?"
identify it with a
Right.
title, it
Okay.
don't make. If I said I was anything else, they'd be like, "No, you're a stud." They want to be able to title something for it to make
Yeah.
sense to them, and I just feel like that's kind of what this situation is. But I mean, it is very tricky because, yeah, by definition, lesbian is a person who's attracted to women, and she's
Right.
dating a man. So this is a good topic right here.
Yeah. So I mean, I think what we've concluded is it's not our
I'm a
business.
straight lesbian. I'm a straight
Who's a
lesbian.
straight lesbian?
Me.
What do you mean straight lesbian?
Don't piss me off. Like,
I'm a
not
straight
today.
lesbian.
I'm a straight. Like, what? Stop saying that. That doesn't mean anything.
Hey, that's
Doesn't mean anything.
throwing off her gay section.
Yeah, her gaydar is
I'm
like, what do
like,
you mean? This is what I'm talking about right here. It
not
don't mean she's
functioning
like,
over
what?
here.
She
Like,
started
keep
glitching
going,
out.
keep going. I'm
started
straight
glitching
gay.
out
I
on
like to
us.
say I'm straight gay.
You're straight gay.
is crazy.
Okay.
Straight gay.
Okay. Are you
Yeah,
done?
man. Me, I just feel like y'all. I think we need to, even if you're a social media influencer or whatever, you need to put your relationship first and make sure y'all are super solid, because the internet will do what they do to figure out how they can try to divide y'all or cause
Yeah.
a problem.
I mean, she made it clear that like her and her men are locked in, right? And
I
she's
love
not
that.
going nowhere. And she actually said, I don't care how y'all feel about it. This is how I identify, and I
Period.
feel firm in that. And it's like, okay, I feel you. Like, that's real. That's
Yeah.
real.
Yeah.
I mean, eXeL talk shit about me having a purse.
Hold up. What do that got to do with anything?
Why can't I have a purse? Why can't she be straight lesbian?
Are we back to you not being a stud again? I'm
Yeah,
confused.
she
Not a
want to
stud.
get some shit off her chest. Go ahead, Britt.
Oh my
All
God.
right.
Not a
You
stud.
are. I'm sorry. I'm
You are.
sorry. I'm sorry.
No,
You're
you
one
are.
of the few that can't say you're not. All right.
I am crying.
Yeah, it's like, what are we talking about here? Are we in
Yeah.
denial?
Hello, because
It's
she was
so
shocked.
much.
I need to do a little still frame of her face, like, you not?
Like, what
Yeah.
are we talking
You
about
a
here?
soft stud. You and your soft girl era, but
Oh,
you
soft
still.
stud. That's
Yeah.
cute.
See all
I
these
think you can
titles.
be a soft stud in your 30s, though.
Hey, whatever.
No, you can. You can. You can. You
I'm just
can.
why can't I just be a woman?
Why do we have to do this? Like,
I just want to understand, like,
why do we have to do this?
I'm
Like,
tired of explaining everything
it's
to
not a
everybody.
derogatory term. It's just like it's just the word stud. Like, it's
It's a
not that bad.
It just puts you in a category.
And
It's
I don't
not.
like to be in no category.
Yeah, but stud does. This is my thing. Stud doesn't explain everything. It's just how I would say,
Just
like,
the
yo,
word. Yeah.
if you're telling a story, I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes my wife come home from work, right, and she'll be telling me how ignorant this patient was. I ain't gonna lie. I'll be like, were they black or white? All right. So I want to get a visual. So if you telling your
That's
story
what I'm
about,
saying.
if you telling a story about this gay friend, I'm gonna be like, was she a stud or a femme?
Right, exactly.
That's what I'm
Like,
saying. People
it's
want to
just
identify every
whole time.
single thing
but that's just a part of
with
being,
a
it's just a part of
term,
being in our community.
with a title. I'm tired of the titles. I'm tired of the terms.
You know what I'm tired of?
Queer.
You know what I'm tired of? Studs
What?
who don't like being called studs. Please, like, hang it up.
Hello.
Did I just catch your fucking stray? Did I just catch your stray?
I'm happy you said that. All right, take the sound effects from Britt.
Okay, now it's time. Now it's time to wrap it up because Britt done got the sound effects and it's
Hello.
just clicking away. Just clicking away.
Yes.
Okay. So this week, y'all, I hope y'all enjoyed our first episode because we enjoyed talking about it and filming it. Like, we've had a ball. All right. So this week we discussed the breakup of the Maynards. Tati and Prince split after 5 years, with Prince claiming Tati was unfaithful and pushed her out of the UK. And the online debate has mostly sided with Tati. Okay, that's just where we're at with it. All right. We also covered influencer Kaya Rice's story time about her cheating ex-girlfriend who was secretly hooking up with her teammate. Kaya found out after seeing photo proof and expressed disbelief at the betrayal. I mean, I feel bad for her. I really do. Like, if that was her first girl experience, that is the worst type of first experience to have.
It be like that.
It do be like that.
Look
Though.
at the stud. You hear the stud?
Welcome to Death Row.
And finally, we talked about queer content creators Makayla and Dre, and how Makayla still identifies as a lesbian, even though Dre transitioned into a trans man. She explained that she loves Dre, but would date women if they split. Any final thoughts we want to share to close out the very first episode of the Queer Agenda?
I just want to say that I am trying to
Stud.
be open minded in this situation. I don't want to
Mhm.
be biased and stuff like that. I'm trying to work on not judging people. That's what I was
Oh,
Okay.
saying
that's not what we're here for.
about
This the queer
everything that we
Right.
went
agenda.
over today.
Judge away.
And I see how you had the Doms kind of not winning in all these stories. So we gonna have to find the films that's kind of, well, I guess the last one was
Are you
kind of,
trying to say that I'm biased against
it's
studs?
kind of giving a little bias against the
I
Doms.
can't help that y'all don't know how to act most of the time.
We do.
Y'all
We
don't.
just don't get highlighted when we doing good shit. We only get
No,
That
highlighted when we doing
makes
bad shit.
sense. We don't gossip about people doing good things.
Hey, that's true. That's true.
I promise I'm not biased. I do try to look out for my fem sisters, but when they're moving crazy, we will recap that too. They just weren't moving crazy this week. That's just
No,
what it
I'm,
is.
I'm messing with you, but yeah, I hope the best for Prince and Tati. I just, when you think about gay, like the gay, like what's the word I'm looking for, like the Mount Rushmore of gay people. There's just certain
Mhm.
people that come to mind, especially
Yeah,
when it comes to relationships. And I think for the longest, they definitely were somebody that was on,
a
at
hundred
top.
percent.
So it's just sad to see it, but it's the reality of things. And I think that with social media, we have gotten to a point where like we get the highlights and then we hear the bad shit. And it's like we can't believe it, but we don't know what they were going through for their entire relationship. But I do hope it works out. I know the other one's been really quiet on social media, so hopefully she's doing what she's supposed to do to heal and get through
Mhm.
everything, especially with it being such a public breakup. The second shorty, Kaya, get you another girl, get back outside,
Okay,
do your big
try
one.
again, sis. Try
Okay,
again.
it's a Kaylin Drake. Hey, straight lesbian. I'm here for it. Get a shirt that say that, and I bet you a lot of people wear that shirt, and it's gonna
Okay,
piss us off. I bet y'all a lot of people will wear that straight lesbian
they
shirt.
gonna be at pride parties with them shirt on.
I swear.
that's crazy. Yeah, I would say just overall to everybody listening and even to influencers, like don't let this social media fool you. Sometimes we judge couples and just admire them so much because
Mhm.
of what we see in front of the camera.
Mhm.
Just like that basketball player was putting out roses to ask the girl to be her girlfriend and was cheating the day before.
Cheating.
It's
Listen,
crazy.
we don't know what's going on behind the scenes. So I would just suggest to really be true to yourselves and to your relationship. You know what I mean? Like, make sure y'all good at home first. But before we end, I do want to encourage everybody real quick to make sure you watch the No Homo show, subscribe to our Patreon. We got a new episode up with Flavor P. She's super funny. We talk about some more stud shit. And actually, in that episode, Britt was talking from her stud opinion.
I was about to
So
say because the title
yeah,
said studs reveal, and I'm assuming that the studs was everybody in the picture,
well,
and
Britt
Brit was
didn't.
in the
In
picture.
Britt's defense, she didn't even know that was the title. All right,
I get see how people just label me. I don't
but,
get to pick what I'm called. I'm just a stud.
Oh,
all right, but definitely y'all check out the No Homo show, and I enjoyed this, and
Yeah.
yeah, we're gonna have to be getting into people's business, and that's just what it is.
Yeah, and make sure y'all follow our Instagram. We need to get those followers up. So follow us at We Are the Queer Agenda.
yep.
Individual pages. Yeah. Period. Poop.
All right. Until next time, y'all.
Until next time, let's get it.